Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Elbow Drop Podcast. I'm Mikey Balls, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's video games. I do love video games. I play Call of Duty almost all the time, as well as Super Smash Bros., which pretty much are the two games I've put most of my hours into. And today we're going to talk about specific video games, ones that we're currently playing now. So to begin, I'll bring it over to man across the table, I guess.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Robbie Bad Boy Fitz. The current game that I'm going on is Injustice for the iPhone, iPad, and Android devices. However, the challenges are different. I'll just briefly tell you that you have until Monday, March 23rd at 6 p.m. to get your Mortal Kombat X Scorpion, who is pretty good. I think the old Scorpion's a little bit better. But hurry up and finish that challenge up. I'm about 13 more fights away to finishing Nightmare mode myself. And in the online mode, you have until Wednesday, the 25th, to get your Ares, who they keep bringing him back all the time. He's a pretty good character. He's not amazing, but you just get your online rankings up. Pretty fun game if you never played it. It is free to play, free to download. It's just, one of those... I forget what you call them, but the games when you have to pay money to enjoy yourself. Pay to play, thank you. Well, no, it's not pay to play. It's free to play.
Yeah, but you got to pay to make it fun.
Yeah, if you want to have fun, you got to either put in way too much of your free time or give them a ton of money. But I certainly do recommend it.
So what about this game do you enjoy, Bad Boy?
Well, I'll say that you get to play as all your favorite DC characters. It has everybody. The story mode is pretty fun, even though they don't really examine the story of what's going on. But if you look at what's happening, who you're fighting, you can kind of piece together your own little story. I mean, I have a lot of fun right now. My current lineup is Red Sun characters. For those who know the Red Sun storyline, that's when Superman landed in communist Russia instead of America. But they have a lot of characters in the game that don't actually exist in the story mode. But my current lineup is like Superman Red Sun, Wonder Woman Red Sun, and Green Lantern Red Sun, who was one of last month's challenges, the Green Lantern.
You're a busy guy, Bad Boy. You have a lot going on in life. You're a very busy guy. This is the Birdman, by the way. And I just want to point out that Injustice is a video game that's available for almost all platforms.
Yes,
practically. PS3, PS4, Xbox One. I own it on the PlayStation 3. You're a guy who plays games on the go, and it's just interesting to me that like people play video games now on their iPhones. It's just a thing people do, and you could play it on so many different devices. It's just something that it's kind of a modern marvel to me.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll say the graphics on this game are they're the same as the PlayStation. I have an iPhone 6 Plus, but even when I played this on the 4S, the graphics are the same as the PlayStation. The only thing different is that the animations are a little weaker. Like for example, in the iPhone version, anytime somebody would actually say something, their lips are not animated. All the as I like to refer to them as final smashes, but all their super moves. A lot of the people do say things, and in the iPhone version, their lips are still. But in terms of the graphics, when all the animations, if you go on YouTube, or if you have the game for the PlayStation, you look them up. The super moves are exactly the same as they are in the PlayStation console or other. Is it available for other consoles?
Yeah, that's what amazes me is that they do such a great. I've played it as well, and they do such a great job of keeping up with the animations and the graphics, like from major console to your phone or to a laptop or however you play it. But that's just another facet of gaming that is just interesting to me. You play on your phone, you play on the go, and then a lot of people, what's big nowadays is playing video games online, which leads us to our next video game. I'm going to swing it over to Bob. Bob, you're currently playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yep, I'm finally back on GTA 5 after like a year absence. After a year and a half making us wait. My birthday week, Rockstar could not have planned this any better. A reason why to play online with other players. The heists have finally been revealed. We're finally playing them. They've been around. I love them. I just started finally getting my hands on it last night. I love them. They're a lot of fun. How it works is Lester calls you back. He explains how he's got other jobs for you. You'll hear back from him. You get like 2 to 4 players every single time. You got to do a heist. You set up. You got to get the car, or you got to get the tools, or you got to get different pieces, which eventually lead to the finale, which is the actual heist. One of them, for example, is you're going to rob a bank. So one mission, you get an armored car that you steal from a Korean gang. Then the next setup mission is you do something else, and then finally you eventually rob the bank. And it's a lot of fun. My one argument is, although I haven't beaten them, there's only 5 heists. They made us wait a year and a half just for 5 heists. One obviously getting harder than the next. So hopefully by the time I'm done beating all 5, we'll finally get more. But otherwise, about damn time, Rockstar. I love them. I want more. It's a good enough reason to keep me on a game that's, what, like 2-3 years old at this point?
Yeah, it's a great game. I have it for the PlayStation. I just ran through it myself again. I haven't really played the online too much, but it's something I'm going to check out now because of the heists.
Yeah, it's definitely a reason. If you love the mini heists during the campaign,
Which I do.
you finally get to do those heists with friends, and that's what makes it that much better.
Or you could play with total strangers.
Exactly. Last
and
time I did
yell
that,
at them when they mess your mission up.
Oh, exactly. You got to do a lot of that if you don't have friends for the heists.
Mikey Balls. You're the guy who gave us that very fine introduction at the beginning of this podcast. What are you currently playing? What are you hooked on to?
Well, normally I would go on and talk about Call of Duty or Super Smash Brothers, but no. Specifically, I think I need to talk about BioShock. And it's because I recently rebooted the game for the second time. I said I had this desire to play this game again because it really is one of my favorite games of all time. And I don't think I really need to explain BioShock. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit about it, but it's a first-person shooter, and truly, it is such a beautiful game.
I loved it.
Just walking around in rapture. I loved it.
Completely blew me away. I didn't really expect it when it first came out. It was like a after post-launch title of like the Xbox a few years later, and I was blown away. Speaking of which, all Xbox Gold members, you can download BioShock Infinite, which is the 3rd installment into the BioShock series. It's free. Download it while you can. I don't know when it's being pulled, but quick little plug for a game I have yet to beat, which I guess the next time we do our little video game podcast, I'll talk more about it. But yes, Xbox Gold members, download Infinite. Hurry up. Back to you, Mikey, on BioShock.
Anyway, BioShock is definitely, I'd have to say it is my favorite first-person shooter of all time. I love walking around in rapture. Just the enemies still scare the crap out of me.
Yeah, the environment, the story.
I still walk through that game, and I'm still, it's terrifying, honestly. The enemies that come out at you, they're still yelling stuff. I mean, I really do love playing that game above a lot of others.
How far are you in it so far?
I think I'm in Arcadia.
Ooh, okay.
I love running around in Arcadia.
Okay,
that is actually
okay.
one of my favorite. The farmer's market. Everybody knows what I'm talking about now.
Terrified the hell out of me that part.
Yeah, it truly is a beautiful game. For those of you who have never played BioShock, just please play it. Just do us all a favor.
Which, by the way, back to Xbox Gold members, it's 75% off, so you can download the first BioShock on Xbox 360 and probably Xbox One for $4.99. So you get 2 BioShock games pretty much for $5, Infinite as well as the first BioShock. Don't play Part 2. Not that good. Let me down. But let's move on to the next game. Vito. Don Vito himself. You finally, after years of waiting, you finally got into the God of War series.
Yeah, it took me, excuse me, it took me a pretty long time to finally pick these games up. Back in the day when God of War 1 first came out, I actually played and beat God of War 1. And then I put it down. I never bought 2. I never even looked into 3. And just for some, actually, I was in the Poconos with my girlfriend, and she was not feeling too well the first few days we were there. So I said, you know what? I have my PlayStation for Netflix. I need something to pass the time a little bit. So I ran over to GameStop, and I bought the God of War trilogy for the PS3. They remastered them.
Very convenient. You fell ill when you haven't have God of War.
No, I went to go buy it because she fell ill.
No, I know.
That's the truth.
The irony.
So I started playing through the first one again, trying to re-jog my memory of it. And I beat that in a couple days, and I loved it. Honestly, you know, just like the first time I played it, I thought it was a great game. But this time I actually had the desire to continue on into the second installment of the franchise. And I'm not too far into it, God of War 2. I just beat... the name of the guy escapes me. The Titan that crushes Pegasus. That crushes your winged horse.
Well, Pegasus is the winged horse.
Yeah.
What? I can't recall the Titan off the top of my head.
He blows the ice wind at you.
Oh, what the hell is his name? I'll remember it when we're done.
Yeah, the
recording.
name escapes me
Watch.
for some
But
reason.
Yes, the Ice
But
Titan.
I just freed my horse and I flew to a new place and I landed and I saved right away. That's where I'm up to in that. But I'm really looking forward to seeing where this series goes, and I'm really looking forward to playing the third one.
Yeah, part
I
three.
know-
Part 3 is incredible.
That trilogy also comes with the two, I believe, PSP games, Ghost of Sparta and something else.
I think it was Chains of Olympus was the PSP, the first ever one, where you
Yeah.
go after, I believe it's Persephone, Hades' wife.
Okay.
Which, I recommend if you get your hands on the PSP version, he comments on it in part 3 when you finally it's not a spoiler alert. 3 is the last one, so then you go all over Olympus. So definitely play the PSP one before you work your way onto 3.
When you get to 3, you will shat your pants. Let me tell you, the graphics alone were enough to make me want to cry.
I will admit, for God of War 3, I have played through the first level probably over the course of my life, probably about 30 or 40 times, because the boss battle from just the first boss battle is well worth it. I watched the video on YouTube over and over again, but God of War 3 is amazing. Watch it on an HD television.
All right. Well, I will definitely take that advice from you, gentlemen. I'm very looking forward to beating the second one. Hopefully by the end of the week, I will be done. And then, move on to God of War 3. But we're going to move on to a different game right now. A game that 3 of us especially love. A 4th of us likes a lot. And, Bad Boy, I don't know what your thoughts are in this game, to be quite honest with you. But the game I'm talking about right now is Fallout 3.
God bless that game. God bless Fallout 3. Although we all love Fallout 3, excluding Fitz. I don't know if you ever played it. I recommend you do. I've played 1, 2, and Tactics. So when this one finally came out, it being first person on the 360 as a shooter-esque, I didn't expect much. I was kind of actually really worried.
It looks amazing, and I'm going to actually hand the mic over to the Birdman because he's actually
Yes.
playing through it. I
This is
believe
his game?
for what, the 5th or 6th time now, Birdman?
I've lost count. It's a game that has dominated a large part of the last few years of my life. I was not a follower of the series at all. I was just in GameStop and picked it up based on a recommendation. I actually walked out that day with Fallout 3 and BioShock. And Mikey Balls, he took to BioShock. Not that he doesn't love Fallout 3 as well. It's just he took more to BioShock at first, and I was the Fallout guy. For those of you who don't know what Fallout 3 is about, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland, which is formerly Washington, D.C. It's about what would have happened after World War II. It's kind of just a different look through time at something that might have happened. But anyway, the game is loads of fun. It has the largest scale of any game, really, I've ever played. There's so many different options that take place during the game. The world just lives on, even if you're not in a certain part of the world. It's just the game plays itself almost, and no matter how many times you play the game, you will always discover something new. And I'm fascinated to know that even my 5th, 6th playthrough, I've discovered something I've never discovered before. It's just a fascinating game. You go through an entire world of creatures and factions of people that have formed after this nuclear fallout. I guess that's why it's called Fallout. Mikey Balls, you got something to say on the series. I know you're a huge fan of it. I know you yourself have a specific goal in the game that you've yet to enact, and that is to physically kill a Deathclaw with your bare hands. And for those people who don't know what a Deathclaw is, just picture one of the scariest things you could ever possibly see with a giant claw for a hand, and that's what a Deathclaw is. Mikey, how are you coming along with that? Do you have plans to ever take up the endeavor again?
It's gonna be tough to take down a Deathclaw unarmed, but I think eventually I will. I just want to let everybody know, originally I hated Fallout 3, and the reason why I did hate it was because I watched the Birdman play it all the time, and I hated the way he played it. And the reason why is because I felt like every 30 seconds you had to stop and go through your inventory, but I realized that you don't have to go stop and look in your inventory every 30 seconds. I can go around just killing whatever I want to. I realized that Fallout 3 is a game that you can play whatever way you want to.
It's very true. Very true.
It's a game you don't have to follow the quest. My quest in that game is literally just go around and kill everything. Not the good people in the game, but just to kill all the enemies. I don't even bother with the quest. I just go around leveling up and killing everything I want. And eventually, it will lead to the road of killing a Deathclaw with my bare hands. I will do it.
I gotta say, I'm glad you pointed that out, Mikey, because you can play this game as an evil son of a bitch. You could play this game as an angel and answer everybody's prayers. You could blow up a town with a nuclear warhead if you so choose. You could poison a water supply with a virus that would kill all mutants and all mutated DNA. There's just so many different things you can do. You could sell people into slavery. You could save people from slavery. The game is really a never-ending game, and that's why I constantly play it, because I can always do something differently every time I play through it and level my guy up in a way that I didn't in past playthroughs.
Yeah, I alone have logged in over 750 hours into one single playthrough because I wanted to literally flesh that game out all the way.
It's such a game. It's such a good game, and it's a game that we love so much that we're going to bring it into might be a regular thing we talk about, especially with Fallout 4 on the horizon at some point.
Yeah, Bethesda, for the first time, I don't believe it's ever been done, at E3, they're going to have their own panel for once. Usually they have a trailer, they have something spark up really quick, but they have their own panel now, which can hopefully only mean Fallout 4.
Yeah, hopefully we finally get that big reveal that we've been looking forward to. I mean, you know, as you can tell, this group really does have a passion for Fallout 3. I'm currently wearing a Vault Boy t-shirt. I went out and I bought a very expensive laptop so I could play Fallout 3 on my laptop and incorporate the mods into my gameplay. I've also played the games countless and countless hours. I'm sure if I looked at my files, I'd be disgusted with myself. But yeah, we love Fallout 3. We're looking forward to it. And as the Birdman mentioned, we're going to bring to you a bi-weekly Fallout podcast series in preparation and in hopes of the reveal of Fallout 4.
Yeah, leading up to the E3 announcement, please, please, please.
So you can look forward to myself, Don Vito, Bob, and the Birdman to bring you the Fallout podcast.
And, of course, you can't forget, you know, our special guest every now and then, Mikey Balls. I mean, this guy, I've never seen somebody with such dedication in killing anything with their bare hands, but he really wants to take down a Deathclaw with his bare hands in this game, which is an impossible feat. You can shoot a rocket at these things, and it just grazes them and does nothing. They just keep coming. You know, it's very tough to kill one.
They are death with claws.
Anybody who plays this game, they will very quickly learn what we're talking about when they have their first encounter with one.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up our podcast for the night. We're not usually, the Elbow Drop is not usually a source for news, but there was kind of a big news break today that Bob discovered and would like to comment on a little bit because it touches close to home for me and Bob. It has to do with our favorite video game series of all time, which we think is the best video game series of all time. So, Bob, I'm going to leave it to you, and when you finish, you can wrap it up.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vito. So, as many people know, once again, Hideo Kojima has announced, I'm making my last Metal Gear, and this game will be Metal Gear Solid 5, which not so long ago has been mentioned as having a release date of September 1st of this year, 2015. As of late, I don't know if they're doing it anymore, they released the Collector's Edition, North American Collector's Edition, for reserve, online only. Xbox One, you can get at GameStop. But outside of that, Hideo Kojima, apparently with a lot of rumors, a lot of Reddit pages, Twitter, Instagram, there's a lot of confusion going on that supposedly Hideo Kojima had finally left the company that he birthed Metal Gear Solid with, Konami, which is pretty alarming because really, in my opinion, he was the only thing keeping that company afloat, and he recently had the future project of Silent Hill, which I believe he, as well as Guillermo del Toro, were going to work together, starring Norman Reedus. Am I saying his name correctly? He was going to star in the game. So
that would have been incredible.
If he does, I've heard a few things. Either one, he didn't leave. It's all just one big ha-ha lie. Because Hideo Kojima, if there's one thing he does, he is the troll of trolls.
He is a damn troll. You're absolutely right.
I hate that man in all the right, wrong ways. But outside of that, he may possibly, another rumor is he's making his own third-party company, which is going to be working on his own, no longer engineering Metal Gear Solid games, but rather his own independent project in coalition with Konami. So if that happens, I guess that's good, but at the same time, what's really going on with Hideo? We'll keep you posted, though.
Well, Bob, if what you're saying is true, it's truly a sad day for all the Metal Gear fans out there. us here at the Elbow Drop, we'd like to say thank you to Hideo Kojima for all of the fantastic work and all of the fantastic entertainment he's brought to everybody
Thank God.
that has played any Metal Gear Solid game. Truly is one of the greatest video game franchises of all time. And we hope you don't go, but if you do, thank you.
Thank you for the memories. And that wraps up another episode of The Elbow Drop, this special video game podcast edition. Oh, real quick, Mikey Balls,
And
go
one
ahead.
last final message for our listeners. Would you kindly drop the elbow?
Could have done it better myself, Mikey Balls. We have Don Vito, Mikey Balls, the Birdman, Larry Bird himself, Bad Boy Fitz, and the one and only Bob. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.